rigid insulation and using it in your tiny house. We're going to cover the types of insulation that you buy in sheets from your local home improvement store. The information out there about rigid foam, it's inconsistent from site to site. So bear with me while we look through all this content and we'll just try to figure out consistent truth. XPS and polyiso both decrease in R value over time, because eventually the gases are displaced with regular air. EPS and XPS perform better in colder environments while polyiso deteriorates in performance. This is due to the trapped blowing agent gases that condense in the polyiso. To deter this, you could insulate your polyiso or use more polyiso. While there are many greener options for insulating, specifically to keep in mind for building a tiny house is that you want to get as much insulation in a small space as possible. So foams will save you more per inch due to their higher R value. I'm trying to find some information on this so I could cite it, but I can't seem to find anything. Let me know if you know if this is true or not. But I have heard that rigid insulation can add some structural support to your tiny house. So let me know if that sounds like it's just made up BS or what you guys think. Let us know below. You may want to take a second look at before using just what it does to our ozone layer. So foams that use HCFCs in their production. HCFCs produce moderate ozone depletion. HCFCs are a common blowing agent in XPS. From what I can tell, they've been trying to phase out HCFCs for a really long time and they've still yet to completely phase them out. Let me know if you have any better information on this. Some products like Artec by Insulfoam, a radiant barrier foil on one side and a vapor retardant on the other side. EPS does not use HCFCs in production. EPS breathes while XPS reduces air transfer through the material. XPS has a lower moisture absorption rating than EPS due to these differences, but EPS outperforms XPS for long-term R value. EPS insulation exhibits drying potential for under severe exposure conditions, while XPS does not. Main ingredients in EPS and XPS are benzene and styrene, and if you do one quick Google search on this, this is what you're going to see. Benzene and styrene are linked with leukemia, breast cancer, and even birth defects. EPS and XPS contain brominated flame retardants that pose serious health and environmental concerns, because these can be bioaccumulative. These are semi-volatile organic compounds and are not chemically bound to the material, but added during or after they were made. They escape as a vapor or airborne particle. Polyiso is less flammable than EPS and XPS, and the flame retardants they use are less toxic. Installing rigid foam, be sure to install it with a nice, tight fit to help stop air infiltration. Joints between sheets and boards must be taped to prevent airflow. Rigid foam is susceptible to sunlight, so be sure you store it right. Guys, when I was cutting rigid foam for our tiny house, this was a pain. We were using blue board and it was everywhere. There was foam pieces. Cut your insulation, use the hot wire method if you want to save on mess and hassle. The King of Random has a great tutorial video on how to put one of these together. However, heat does accelerate off-gassing. And now a sneak peek of my dad's tiny house door. Dad found this in Grandpa's old workshop. High five! You guys, thank you so much for watching the video and subscribing to my YouTube and for checking out my blog. It's tinyhousewife.blogspot.com. For those of you who enjoy watching the videos, I really love making these and it's such a pleasure to have you as my subscribers, and the content is about to get better. I've got myself a Hero 3 Plus Silver and that should be benefiting you soon, so subscribe and hang in there. We're going to have a lot of better content coming up.